You know, people often ask me, SparkleDart, how can I speed up my metabolism? I'm getting kind of fat, and I'd like to know how I can make myself less fat, if that's possible. I'm like, of course that's possible. You just have to be willing to adjust your lifestyle, and I'm not going to be here to coach you on how to do that, because that's not really my place. That's not who I am. That's not what I set out to do when I started doing this channel. I would never... excuse me. I would never be that guy who tells you how to change your lifestyle in such a way that makes you feel uncomfortable with who you are. But if you're really interested in changing your lifestyle, then I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. So here's what you can do to speed up your metabolism. Now, you can do a number of things, but one thing that I've done that really seemed to work for me was I started to drink more water. And water is super important because water is something that all life needs to sustain itself in such a way as to propagate and you fucking skelly man. Okay. Now I'm gonna put up with that shit. Now my place. This is becoming a pain in my ass right now. So, if you want to increase your metabolism, there's only 3 simple steps you need to take. You need to drink more water, and that includes, or that does not include things like Powerade or Gatorade or nothing like that, because that stuff is loaded with sugar, and the sugar is what slows you down. It's what takes its toll on your body in such a way that you're not so comfortable with, only because you have been conditioned to accept the fact that maybe it's okay to have that sort of that edge that most people seek to crave. Their dopamine fills every single day. You know, having sugar in your body, it's great, but if you have that sugar in your body, it's difficult to, I guess you could say it's difficult to... Hold on, what's going on right now? It's difficult to speed up that metabolism. Now, if you're trying to do these sorts of things, then it's really up to you, like I said, to make those sensible judgment calls. I will never be here for you all the time, although I wish I could be. I wish I could be a personal coach. If you really needed one so badly, I would be a personal coach in a hobby. You know, I'm SparkleDart. I'm a nice guy. I would be a friend, your IRL friend if I knew you. IRL, maybe someday we'll meet, but up until then, maybe it's just up to you to make your own best judgments based off of what I say. So what you can do, short of drinking more water, of course, is you can start taking iodine supplements. You might be thinking, well, SparkleDart, I eat a lot of salt, and I know that salt has iodine in it, and I'm here to tell you that that is a rumor. That is not necessarily true. On any stretch of the imagination, might that not be necessarily true. Now, the reason for that is because iodine does come in salt. You can buy iodine salt, and if you do that, then you'll have salt that has iodine in it, and that is exactly true. But here's the problem. People don't realize that not all salt has iodine supplementation in it, and a lot of Americans, I'd say about 90% of Americans, suffer from iodine deficiency. So if you're one of those Americans that do that, then stop, please. Please just don't do that anymore. I implore you, it's for your own good, it's for your own safety. Do not suffer from iodine deficiency, and the way you do that is by taking iodine supplementations, and one of the ways you can get iodine supplementations in such a way as that one is by great, that's fantastic, is by hold on here, taking kelp extract. Now you might be thinking, kelp, why would I want to eat like gross seaweed? I'm gonna tell you that right now. Most seafood, and that includes sea vegetables such as kelp and seaweed and sea cucumbers, which are actually like kind of closely related to snails, so they might not actually be considered vegetables. I guess for the most part you might think that they are, but they're not really so much. They do contain a lot of iodine, and that's because the ocean is a very good source of iodine. But you can't just drink ocean water. Now, ocean water is basically just salt, but that salt that's in there is not. It's not okay for you to drink that because it dehydrates you more than it hydrates you, I guess would be the appropriate way of Neener, neener, you can't find me, nya, nya, nya. I bet I can. So, yeah, just go ahead and take kelp supplementations. They will help you out in the way that you never thought you could be helped out anymore. It's like a pair of eyeballs going on right now. I don't understand this situation. Well, I'm gonna try my best, I guess, to diffuse this situation in a way that makes sense to me. Because, you know, I'm SparkleDart, that's what I do. I try to diffuse situations, I try to make sure... There we go, that's what it was, that's what it took. Okay, well, I'm skeptical about this whole map. This is a whole... Yeah! Oh. I'm just... Okay, I'm pleased with that. So anyways, kelp is a good source. You can get liquid kelp, you can get kelp extract in tablets or pills or whatever. I got both liquid droppers and I got capsules, the little plastic-looking capsules. Obviously they're not plastic, otherwise they wouldn't dissolve in your stomach. And if you're eating plastic, you might as well not worry about your health because you're probably going to be dead anyway. Plastic is cancer in a container that looks a lot better for you than it really fucking is. Now, the thing about plastic is that it's made of long carbon strands that are infused with all sorts of other toxic chemicals that, when they break down, they wreak havoc on your body, and they do leach into the things that you are drinking, like your sodas and your tomato cans of Campbell's, chicken noodle, tomato, chunky, whatever else it is that you got that's going on, that it's just not okay for you to be having in your body. If you're having any of that, then you're really creating a bad situation. You're making a bad situation worse is the appropriate way to say what I'm talking about. Because, watch this, I can run fast now. I can run as fast as I fucking want to. That's great. That's fantastic. So anyhow, yeah, just make sure you're getting your recommended daily dose of iodine, which I don't know the exact daily amount, but I think something like 200 micrograms should suffice, but you can have way more than that if you really want to, up until a point. A lack of iodine causes hyperthyroidism, or hypothyroidism, and an excess of iodine causes hyperthyroidism, which is an increase in the size of the thyroid, increase in the production of thyroid hormones, and it produces thyroidism, and at that point you get something called goiter. If you got goiter, then you basically, that's like an old man disease. People don't get that these days, and people only got that in the past because they were working and living in places like the middle of the country, the Midwest, or the Great Lake regions, wherein there was no iodine sources available, and because of that there was such a thing as an iodine deficiency. Now they put it in a lot of salt, and because it's in so many salts, then that means that you can properly satiate your iodine lust. Now if you got an iodine lust, I guess that's not exactly what it is I'm talking about. An iodine lust would be something more like you're attracted to the idea of having like an iodine deficiency, or something so similar to that. That'd be kind of disgusting. I would never recommend something like that, but if that was the case for you, I would never, I wouldn't call you out on it, because that's your own personal thing. I would never, I'm a nice guy. I'm SparkleDart. I'm SparkleDart, everybody's friend. I wonder if this will work. Yes, it worked. Okay, thank you. And even though it worked, I still wasted my fucking time doing it. So, thank you. Going back, I guess. I don't know where I'm headed right now. The thing about these Zelda games is that they're confusing as fuck, and since they're so confusing, you really have to know exactly what you're doing to make a swift run of it, I guess you could say. Now, I'm not making a swift run of it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sure I am trying, and I'm trying my goddamn hardest, and I would never ask for anybody to try to do something that I myself couldn't do, because if I couldn't do it myself, then what's the point of having somebody else do it for me? That's the thing I think about managers. Like, if you have a job or something so similar to that, why I think managers don't really work the way that they should, because they want you to do work that they themselves are either incapable of doing or they are not willing to do themselves. And people who won't do the work themselves are lazy, they're ineffective, and they make for bad bosses, employees, employers, and all sorts of other situations so similar to that one. So, if you're going to be leading a group of people, at least lead them in a direction in which you yourself are comfortable of headed. You know what I'm saying? Now, back to the subject of increased metabolism. I think I pretty much covered all of the important steps there. You want to make sure you're taking more iodine. It's important for everybody. Iodine isn't just one of those like miracle minerals that people kind of need to take, I guess. If you want to take like B1, B2, B12, B5, B6, whatever else you want to take, it's up to you to do so. You fucking get over here, you piece of shit. But if you want to take iodine, I recommend it highly, because it is something that everybody should take, and it is something that we used to get a lot more of back in the day, because we lived closer to the sea, the ocean sources in which it was more widely available. Now, it does come very, very regularly in things like cranberries or I think maybe raspberries. You can get them in cranberries. You can also get them in eggs. Eggs are fine too. It's a good source of the same sort of iodine that you need to live and prosper. You can get it in milk, but not in the same degree that you would get it in just taking kelp supplements as I do. Now, the thing is, I used to have trouble with memory. I couldn't remember things as vividly as I would have liked to, and because of that, I was self-conscious about my ability to cognate, and you know, whatever else. It really required a lot of attention focus for me to work on something that I had never done before, and to get killed by the green blobby. And with that green blobby death, I guess we can say that this is a wrap up. We're gonna go ahead and call this episode good. Thank you for watching. This has been SparkleDart playing the Zelda game. Thank you for watching. Kisses, bye.